Well, hello, my little Cliff viewers, Cliff Kid viewers. First of all, I'm sorry it's been such a long time. Must be a good, what, month since I've last posted. Apologise for that, for all the people that have been waiting for the new ones. I've had a lot of stuff going off, changing jobs and bits and pieces, so it's, yeah, things have kind of gone on hold for a little bit, so I do apologise for leaving it. But we've only about 5 or 6 videos, I think, left, so I'm going to pick up where we left off and I'm going to carry on. Thank you again for the people that have been sending me photographs and answering me posts on the forums of Sheffield History and Sheffield Forum. Really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. I know I've been away for a bit, like I said, and I haven't really been on the forums a great deal. I've just answered a few people, but like I said, it literally is just down to being busy and everything. You know how it goes. So hopefully we should be getting back on this and finish it off, and then don't know, move on to whatever's coming next. It's not long till I'll be back at Sheffield. I'm due to come back on the weekend, the 18th of August to the end of August, so sometime around then I'll be making a visit to CLIFFE. Well, a lot of times I'll be making a lot of visits to CLIFFE, should I say, and around the area, doing a bit of video, doing a bit of live, doing a bit of research sort of thing in the library, Sheffield Public Library, and hopefully I'll be able to meet up with a few people. But what I'll do is, as it gets closer, I'll sort something out and I'll put a posting on both the forums. So, where did we get to last then? Well, we had Markway models, didn't we? Fantastic, brilliant, love it. What we've done now is we've gone to the end of Markway models, to the end of this street, and turn left, which is just leading on to Stanyforth Road, and going up, up towards, I suppose, up towards where the rads are really, and where the canal is, where the canal joins, where the canal bridge is, Pinfold Bridge. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the next picture up, which is a series of shops on your left hand side, and the picture should appear in your window now. There you go. Perfect. I love this. Boring to some, but memories to me. Not a lot's changed really. The Indian takeaway is still there. I'm not sure whether the name was the same back in the 70s. Can't quite remember. I know the silver pan, which I'm going to get to, the Chinese takeaway, which used to be called the Butterfly when we used to go, and I think the plumbing and heating contractors, I don't think that was there. The tool shop just below, I'm sure that was still there, because I remember him selling close pegs and, like, is it called haberdashery? I'm not so sure. It sounds like a woman's word to me, but pegs and baskets and bits and pieces and garden wire to tie your kids up, to make them behave, that sort of thing. Anyway, and there was a few other bits and pieces, but these are the shots that I've got on the photographs. So, yeah, I remember that, walking through the pavements, because when we used to walk up this way towards the Rads Club, we used to play, like, Don't Step on the Crack, where you have to jump onto the, onto the paving slabs one by one, and a few of these had cracks in them, so, it was kind of one of them, hoppity skippity until you fell over your own feet sort of thing. Anyway, moving on to the next photograph, which is just a bit further up, which will appear in your screens now. The silver pan. Chinese and English meals to take away. Fish and chips. Lovely. Wasn't called the silver pan, like I said back in my day. It's called the butterfly, I do believe. But it was, looking at it, it was exactly the same. I know the door's exactly the same, because I remember the two steel handles, as you can see, that go diagonal on the picture, to push them open. I don't know about the colour. It seems pretty similar, but yeah, I've got memories of sliding across the window on that one. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out what I put for this one. This is what I wrote about, the two pictures. So here goes. Right. Turning left past the model shop leads you to Portover Road, Stanyforth Road, which is set back slightly. There used to be a florist's, a pet shop and a tool shop. Well, I know there's still a tool shop. I'm not so about the florist or the pet shop. I'm going to have a look when I go back. Probably isn't, but if there is, or I'm wrong, then, like I said, drop me a line, let me know, please. All except the silver pan, which is a Chinese takeaway. The silver pan, formerly the butterfly, sold the biggest fish cakes in town. It's true that they sold their own version of the Sheffield fish cake. This is what made it attractive, because they were huge. You didn't get a lot of fish, in the middle, but two great whacking slabs of potato and batter around it, which is true. I'm not kidding, right? I mean, I know we're kids and we had small hands, as you do, but they must have been about that big, and it was only like a piece of fish about that big in the middle, but it used to have two massive slabs of potato on, you know, and batter. And when you were a kid and you're always hungry, as you were back in the 70s, it was great. It was fantastic because it was bigger than any other, and you used to just eat round the edges until you got to the fish in the middle. Perfect. Every Sunday, Mum and Dad would take us to the Rads Club, which is coming up pretty soon. At the end of the night, or about 10 o'clock, my mum would say to us, now you can either have another pop and crisps, or go to the Chinese instead, to the Butterfly. As always, being hungry kids, the Chinese always won. I think about that time, I think my mum and dad had had enough, and I think they were just happy to get rid of us. I think we must have just plagued them mad, because we used to play outside and stuff, and then used to go in and hang on the back of the chair saying you were bored until you either got money, or to go to the sweet shop if there was, because there was always a shop open until 7 or 8, or even later, I think, that type of thing, or you got bribed to go home. Anyway, and the Chinese always won. I always had chips and fish cake, and my brother always had chips and curry, and I would trade off my fish cake for curry sauce. Then we would go home. What we'd do is get your stuff, get it wrapped, go home, and then we kind of share it out. And I think my brother got best at deal, really, because I only got a bit of curry sauce, but he got half a big fish cake, even though you know what it is when you're a kid and you cut it and you go, no, they're equal, you know, and you stood like that with two pieces. No, they're both same. Anyway, I think he used to end up chopping a bit extra, otherwise you just used to dab curry on and just pull the carton back. A tight git. Anyway, and then we would go home and watch the Hammer House of Horror film on TV. Remember that? BBC Two in the 70s. Used to get to about 10 to 11. Oh no, always on a Sunday. They always had a double bill. And sometimes it'd be like Frankenstein. So you'd have Frankenstein 1, and then you'd have like Return of Frankenstein just after, and they were always in black and white. But some of the Hammer House of Horror films were in colour, and that was great because we used to sit there and we used to be able to watch it when it had finished. And I think we always used to be in bed before my mum and dad get back. I think they used to stay, you know, drinking afterbird as you do, because your mum used to work there. And so we sit there and watch it, and it was the first films we ever got to see boobs on. Because you know what the Hammer House Horror films were like? You'd have a leading lady, white negligee, get bitten by Dracula, all of a sudden, wallet, top off. And it was an introduction, as you do, sort of thing. But that's not why we watched it. We watched it purely because it was a frightening horror film with Dracula in. And now that's the truth. Well, that's what I'm going with anyway. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll stop this because we're getting to 8 minutes, and I'll go on to part 2 in a minute because I have a little story about the entertainment news to get in the Chinese. Love it. So I'll see you in part 2.